very pretty. Now, pardon my ignorance, but my wife has like a pajama thing that looks kind of like that. Is that, no, but I mean, it's sort of the same thing. But
sort of Sunday go-to-meeting Chinese wear from 1952, I think.
Oh, no, that looks great, though. See, I like the collar, the way they collar. See, that's you always have the classy.
Pretty Tony, isn't it?
Very nice, very nice.
And it only costs $10.
$10 for that?
Yeah, I got it in a second-hand shop out here. One of my main hunting grounds. Really? Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I thought so.
Then why can't I get... I'll have that discussion with her when I get home.
Shop with me.
Yeah, I'll send her around with you. Now, what was this thing I heard you telling our makeup person about sticking your head in a bucket of water? What was that?
Oh, that's something I learned from Paul Newman, who doesn't wear makeup in movies. And I was still photographer once in a movie called Buffalo Bill and the Indians. And he would, in the makeup room, he'd just have him bring him a big basin. I'm not revealing anything wrong because he said this before.
Yeah.
And you put water in it and a lot of ice cubes, and you just stick your head in it. Hold it down there as long as you can.
And what does that do?
About 5 times, and it tightens up all the pores, pulls them all back. And I guess
but what happens, like, when it gets warm, like a minute later? Does it all...
Your face?
Collapse
no, it
again?
holds. No, I don't.
Huh?
I don't know. I haven't done it in years myself. I just
so you don't do it? Oh, no, I wouldn't know that. Yeah, no, so you don't do it. Oh, I see. Okay. Would that work in other parts of your butt? I mean, if you sat in a bucket of water, I mean, could you...
what exactly is
well, I mean, could you make your rear end firmer if you just sat in a... You just sit in a bucket of ice and, oh, look at the rear end.
You know what? I think that's why you're a man. You have this great male mind. I'm going to do that.
You're going to try sitting in a...
Yeah, you bet.
Hey, give me a call. Let me know how it works out. Because you know what I used to hear people say? Now, you tell me if this is like a real beauty tip. I heard someone say, now this sounds stupid, but they used to put preparation H on their face, and then it would shrink, and you would, you know. Have you ever heard that?
Yes, I have heard it.
Have you tried that?
No, I have not tried
know.
that. I have Revlon. I don't need to.
No, you don't need to put that's right. I don't know. And make an ass of yourself, I guess you'd say. But no. But I you know, those are just sort of these dopey remedies where, you know.
Why didn't I think of that?
I don't know. When you go to all these countries, do you pick up strange beauty tips from other lands and things? People that are things that would be odd for?
Yeah, well, you try them. It's usually dirt or something like that. I mean,
dirt?
Yeah. I mean, some people have like really beautiful colored dirt.
And you put that?
Yeah, and then when modern times hit their country, they start using house paint, lead-based house paint. I was just in New Guinea, and the guys were using lead-based house paint instead of, you know, red dirt. They were using bright red paint and yellow paint.
Well, I know Tammy Faye used to use that Sears weather beater. I understand that was...
Tammy Faye?
Tammy Faye Baker, you know that?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
and then she also used tarantula legs.
Tarantula legs. Do men ever ask you for... Because they have makeup for men, right? That's...
I hear it's a $2 billion industry.
Really?
Yikes, yes. They usually only ask me... I wonder if the boss is going to like this, but nonetheless, they usually only ask me if they're makeup artists or drag queens.
A lot of drag queens ask you for...
Well, actually, they don't ask. They usually tell you you're doing everything wrong and how to do it.
And how to correct it.
Yeah, I've had a friend of mine, he became a friend. He wasn't a friend at the time. Rene Ricard, he's a poet and a painter. And
right.
And he once shouted at me as I came into a restaurant. I'd never seen him. He said, "Lauren Hutton, you don't know the first thing about makeup." He shouted across the restaurant. Everybody turned around, and I marched right over, see if I could pick up a tip.
Oh, I see.
And actually, he did.
He had some good...
thing or two, yeah, absolutely.
Good tips? Because I wonder if it's the same... I mean, skin is skin. Is it different from...
Exactly.
I mean, for men, they just put it in a black box, and they shape it like a gun, and you shoot it on your face. But it's the same stuff, right?
I saw something very funny last night, speaking of drag queens. As a matter of fact, I was at this new House of Blues you got here.
Yeah.
Danny Aykroyd's joint. Very happening place. I missed Etta James.
Yeah.
But anyway, outside were 2 very big queens. 6'5", something like that.
6'5".
Yep. And they were wearing silver miniskirts. I mean, I was afraid to sort of look at the hem of this silver miniskirt. So like terrifying. And they looked good. They were very well done. They were big. So I said, "Girls, looking good." He said, "Oh, thank you, Miss Hutton."
Oh, thank you, Miss Hutton.
And I don't know how we got names. We got into names, and they told me that their name was one was Christy Girlington.
Christy Girlington?
And the other was Linda Evangelipstick.
Oh, nice.
I said, well, I will pass it on to...
And you may be one of them. It'll be Lauren something or other. Hi, I'm Lauren Hutton. How you doing? So they were hanging around in front of Aykroyd's joint. Oh, yeah. Good. That's good to know.
Yeah. Trying to get in. I hope they get in.
Julie appreciates the plug. Hey, so if you're out there, you want to drag, come on down to House of Blues. Yeah, we'll be right back. And when we come back, I want to ask you about your trip to New Guinea and living with these headhunters and all that. We'll find out more. More with Lauren Hutton right now. Welcome back. Talking with Lauren Hutton. Now, I know you like to travel around the world and you do your own sort of sociological experiments here. Now, you were, was it New Guinea where you were?
Yeah.
Living with a tribe of headhunters?
Hoolies. I was Hoolieyes. I think it's where the hooligan, the word
Is he
hooligan.
popular there, too? Julio eyes, yeah.
Julio. Yeah. It was up in the mountains. They're mountain men. You want to see some pictures?
Yeah, now, when they say headhunters, I mean, is that just a term that people say
no,
because they're fighters, or do they actually sort of cut heads off?
No, I've seen pictures. All their dads had to take a head to become a man.
To get a head?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're a male male dominant warrior society. Which, when I told Brandon Tartikoff, he said, "Well, that's CAA."
Oh, there you go.
And I said,
there you go. Now, this who is this gentleman here?
This guy is one of the boys. He's I didn't really get to know him.
Well, how old would he be? It's hard to tell.
I'd say they don't live very long. He's I would say about 34. I mean, they're involved in clan warfare maybe 10 months of the year, where they really go out and they fight for a couple of months until someone gets killed. And when one person gets killed, they stop. That's my friend Jacob. And they were starting to paint me up. They love a red nose, a bright, shiny red nose.
Well, Santa would be a huge hit there.
You would. You would. They're spectacular people.
Let me see this
and
one
they're a lot of fun. And I thought I wouldn't like them because they take the male children at 5 and they raise them by themselves. And it's very much, like I say...
When you say they take the male children, what do you mean? You mean
take them from the women and they raise them themselves. And when they get married, they roll the woman in black, smelly oil so they won't get too romantic for the, first dangerous month. Truly.
Ah.
Yeah, good tip.
But, I did that for years also. I mean, like, here you are with a group of guys now. Do these guys hit on you? Are there any, like, headhunter lines that they use?
They were playing around. That was just before a clan war and an ongoing. And they were sort of dragging me up the hill, and I was screaming. But I knew they were just playing.
But you know something? I read a book by...
Jacob was there. It's funny. Everybody's laughing except the older guys. See, over here, don't approve at all. They didn't want a woman on the field. They didn't like any of that stuff.
Well, some things never change, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
But, I read an article, a book, actually, by this woman who was a sociologist, and she lived among some natives, and she was blonde, and she was attractive, and she moved in with these natives, and with that sort of Western civilization approach to life, she sort of looked down on these people and whatnot. And not look down, but, you have a Western attitude. And after a few months of being there, she was afraid that the men would always be hitting on her. And then finally, the tribal women came over, and they said that they had felt so sorry for her because she was so ugly.
Yeah, she looked dead.
Because she looked so different.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah, and she was dead.
Their skin turns sort of white. I mean, dead people are white.
Right, and she wondered why none of the natives were ever approaching her or hitting on her because she was so ugly.
And she smelled bad. It's true.
Do they know about the United States? I mean, is it...
Well, I told them it's from New York, and I brought them some pictures. That's a clan war.
Oh, this is a war? That's an actual war?
Buzzing around with bows and arrows, yeah. This is a guy shooting a bow.
And they kill people, and they...
Yeah, but they're they're pretty civilized. They stop as soon as one person dies. And then they trade pigs around, and it's...
What do you mean they stop? You mean they... What do you mean?
Stop.
They fight a war as soon as someone dies?
Yeah, as soon as someone dies, it's over. It's called Hoolie football up there, Highlands football.
But is that so much different?
It's their fun.
But is that sort of like... And I don't mean this to be a wise guy remark, but it's a bit like a gang fight. A big gang fight. Here in L.A., two things get together, a fight starts, somebody dies, and boom, the thing stops and everybody runs.
Guys like to do this, don't you think? I think men love fighting, and I think they love war. Yeah. And these guys certainly do. I mean, their whole scene's based on it.
Wow. So how long did you stay there with them?
I was there a month, but I was only with these people for a much shorter time, unfortunately. This is a big party afterwards.
Well, this is a big victory party? Boy, it's very elaborate, isn't it? Do the women dress up this much or just the men?
They're major styles. When the guy said this sounded like, when Tartikoff said this sounded like CAA,
I know.
male dominant warriors.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but these guys are much better dressed. They have all this individual style, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Dress much
So what are you doing tomorrow? Now, you told me you wanted to mention that about the... You have the run?
Yes, I'm here for the first annual Revlon Run Walk. And tomorrow morning...
And I'm sitting on a rainbow,